Cabin in the Woods, starring Jennifer Lawrence.
It was a house in the woods, not a cabin in the woods.
Ah, shit.
And actually, it wasn't in the woods, it was at the end of the street.
House at the end of the street by some woods.
Except they didn't live there. That was their neighbor's house at the end of the street.
House almost at the end of the street. Starring the Hunger Games girl, the girl from Cocktail as the mom. So Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue is a beautiful woman. Not the greatest at picking scripts, probably.
Apparently not.
I'm actually sitting here debating in my head what would be her most depressing movie. The easy answer would be Leaving Las Vegas. Pretty depressing fucking movie. It might be a second place to Cabin at the End of the Block.
Jesus.
This movie's fucking depressing because it's bad. Jennifer Lawrence falls in love with the creepy kid next door. You thought the vampire kid was creepy in the goddamn Twilight movies, the way he just stared at her and shit all the time, like her. If I did that to a girl in high school, I'd had a restraining order against me, okay? I mean,
especially if you said you had to restrain yourself from eating her.
Yeah, well, there's that. That's how this tweaker fucker looks at this girl. Oh, and he... When he offers this girl a ride, he pulls up, and he says, "You need a ride." She says, "No, I live right here." He says, "No, you don't. No, you live on, 1, 2, 3, 4 Sycamore Street.
10 miles away.
10 miles away." She's like, "How do you know I live on Sycamore Street?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. Get in." And I just happened to be here, by the way, on a deserted fucking road, 10 miles from home. Yeah, I'm not watching you. So she starts hanging out with the creepy fucking Ethan Hawke tweaker version that lives next door. So...
Oh, hold on. The very first line of dialogue. The very first line she says to him when she gets in his car. We cannot gloss over this.
Perhaps the single greatest line of dialogue in the history of cinema. The screenwriter for this movie is a wordsmith. So Jennifer Lawrence sits down, she's going to get a ride because it's raining with the tweaker guy next door, whose parents were slaughtered in their sleep by his deranged sister with a hammer. She has not said a word to this kid. Looks over in the driver's seat, looks him dead in the eye and says, "Your parents are dead." I have the theory that Jennifer Lawrence's character has Asperger's. So remember in American Beauty that annoying fucking guy that would stare at the fucking sack floating in the wind and say, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen"? They do that in this movie. Yeah. Not a sack. It's actually even less beautiful than the floating sack. It's a tree with a butthole. Well, not a butthole, butt crack. It's a tree with a butt crack.
Plumber crack.
So they sit and stare at the fucking tree, and this creepy motherfucker actually gets up, and he's like, "What do you see?" "I don't know. I see a tree with a fucking split down the middle." He grabs her fucking head and points it where he wants her to look at the tree.
Literally grabs her head and tilts her neck.
I can't make this shit up. This turns her on so much, she immediately takes him in the house and starts to just dry hump the shit out of him. But then she had to pee, and it interrupted the whole thing. As I sit here and think that perhaps some of these characters are stupid, I come to the realization that the screenwriter has Down syndrome.
That'll do it.
This made no goddamn sense. Nothing that she did is something a teenage girl would do except for lie to her mother.
She dumped the trash out the sink. Who does that? In the sink? Dump it out on the floor. Dump it out on the porch.
At that point, though, she thinks he's a crazy dude, so she doesn't care about the hygiene.
But you know what? What if he's not? What if he comes up from the basement with a couple of bottles of ginger ale? Is like, "What the fuck are you doing with my trash, you crazy bitch?"
Then you just dump his trash in his fucking sink.
I thought you were crazy.
Yeah. Like, thank you for letting me come in your house. Hey, tell me how my shit tastes. Yeah.
By the way, check the upper tank in your toilet. I left you a present.
Yeah, I gave you an upper decker and threw your trash in the sink. What are you gonna do now, bitch? That would actually make this a better movie if it turned out that Jennifer Lawrence was the crazy one.
Yeah, like a reverse stalking.
If it turned out he was perfectly normal and she was just like, she did that. She dumped his trash in the sink, took a shit in the upper tank of his toilet, and just said, hey, how's my shit taste? And walked out of the house. I would have actually laughed my ass off. Walked down here, did this video, and I would have told you to watch this movie.
And it would have explained why they keep moving.
They go out of their way to point out that Elizabeth Shue, the doctor, we have to keep moving because of you or for you or whatever.
Right.
You're right. That would explain why they have to, because there's no reason why they keep moving.
No.
She'd be a popular enough girl.
Chicago's fine.
Yeah. But if she goes over to people's houses and throws trash in their sink and takes a shit in her upper tank in their toilet, that would be the kind of thing that would not earn friends in high school. I guess I had friends in high school and I kind of did some of that.
I bet that was the original cut of the script, as written by Mr. Asperger, so they just changed it in Hollywood. They bought the script for $50.
Scene 3, Jennifer Lawrence rubbing her own feces on her face, going to high school trying to get boys' kisses. Okay, we literally have just now spitballed a better movie than the thing we just watched. Fuck you and your dead parents. That's what I think. Oh shit! Oh god! I can't breathe.